Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to make a coil pot with this one. First of all, I've rolled out a slab and I've cut a circle. Okay. Then what I've done is I've rolled out by hand my coil, and this just becomes really easy. Now this coil, like I said, just uses the palm of your hand. And you want it to be kind of thick because you're going to merge the two coils together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start coiling around. Now, make sure when you're coiling that you're sticking as close to straight up as you can, and that's not good. Alright, so if you notice, I've got a little bit of a gap here. Okay? Just a little bit of a gap there. So how I can prevent that is I can pull this all back off and I can cut this coil at an angle, and that way it just kind of slides right up into place. Okay, so now that I've cut that at an angle, it just goes right up smoothly. Alright, perfect. Right the way it is. What to do is I'm just going to start merging these coils. I'm going to take my sculpting thumb and I'm going to push down, grabbing these coils about halfway in and pulling them straight down. If I don't merge most of that coil together, then what happens is it's got a hairline fracture to it. And once it starts to dry, it's an easier way to just kind of follow that line within the crack. So that's why I'm digging in about halfway to the coil. So once I've pulled this, every coil down over the top of the next one, what I need to do is reverse that and start pulling everything up. Okay, so now I'm going to start reversing it and pull everything up. And so what that does is it makes sure that I get a good seal, and I'm starting to thin out my pot on the bottom part, and I'm pulling all of this up to the top. Then what we've got to do is the same thing on the inside. Push it all down. Once you have it all pushed down, and start pulling it all back up. So by the end, the hope is that nobody will be able to tell that this is even a coil-built pot. It'll look kind of like a slab pot, but the purpose of making a coil pot is so you can have different undulations. Okay, so now what I can do is I can come in with my potter's knife or a rib, and I can begin to smooth out this surface. The idea of a pinch pot as well, and start pulling this up. Alright, and equaling out the thickness in the wall. Now you can see that I've got this harsh edge right here that I need to cut at an angle. Now I'll take another coil. That I need to add. Now I need to do the same exact thing. I need to start pulling this down and pulling the rest of that up. You can create this in a bowl form or a vase form or whatever form you want. And so this is my coil pot cut in half. Okay, so you can see the walls are still kind of thick. I could have taken and pinched this out a little higher. Okay, and then you can see the coil for the next one. Alright, and what I want to do is I want to reach in about a quarter of the way and I want to pull this part down. Then what I want to do is I want to pull it back up. Okay, and then that'll merge it so that it's a solid chunk of clay. Okay, and you won't be able to tell because see this fracture or this crack? If I don't fill that in, then when it dries it could just continue to crack and it'll crack my whole ware.